planes. We've been watching the visible GOES satellite pictures coming right into our weather office. And a couple of things we've noted today. First of all, the structure of the hurricane has not changed that much. If anything, it's a little bit more disorganized. The eye is tough to see on the last couple of pictures. Also, we have noticed a definite turn to the northwest. We talked about that at 4 o'clock and during the 4:30 update. That looks like a sign that the storm is going to continue moving northwest, but eventually it will likely bend back to the west. And the reason being is high pressure is very strong, and the only place for this hurricane to go is on a west or west-northwest track towards our state. Let's take a different perspective, and we'll show you our state. We've had some fast-moving showers over the Bay Area today. If it's raining at your house, it's not going to last long. The showers are whipping out to the west. We move away from Tampa Bay and we fly down to the southeast. That obviously is Hurricane Francis getting closer to the peninsula. We've had wind gusts in some of these islands down here over 100 miles an hour today, causing some damage. Some of the smaller islands just southeast of Nassau and Freeport. Color-enhanced satellite loop shows on the last couple of images. Notice how the eye not quite as clear as it was here, and as the storm moves this way, it definitely turns more to the north and northwest. But as I mentioned, high pressure is very strong north of the system. Hurricane warning in effect from Flagler Beach all the way down to Florida City. That's down by Homestead, and then a hurricane watch from that point south to 7 Mile Bridge. The position out as of 5 o'clock, 24.1 north, 74.8 west, top winds of 140, so that disruption in the eye has made the wind speed drop 5 miles an hour, but it is still a strong Category 4 hurricane. Of course, we're all talking about the future tracks, and I showed you that jog to the north a few minutes ago, and this is why we think that it does not mean the storm is going to miss our state. Almost every single computer model that we use is showing the track making landfall on the East Coast. There's not one single model running the storm north or up towards Savannah, and that gives us a very high confidence that this hurricane will make landfall somewhere along our East Coast, most likely just south of Melbourne, perhaps down towards Vero Beach or even down to West Palm Beach. So the official forecast track reflects those models, with the storm making landfall on the East Coast sometime on Saturday, most likely before noon. And then the problem is it is just going to creep across the peninsula and just move very slowly, dropping heavy rain. And then the storm moves across the state to a position somewhere north of the Bay Area by Sunday afternoon, with winds at 50 miles an hour. So the coastline will see some stronger winds, mostly squalls, tropical storm force winds, the stronger winds to our east. But nevertheless, it is going to be just a miserable weekend with clouds and maybe some flooding rains as the storm moves slowly across the state. We have more to talk about. Standing by is my colleague Andy Johnson to compare Francis to Charlie, and also to talk about some details about what you can expect at your house during the upcoming hurricane event. Andy?
That's right, Paul. Each hurricane has its own unique characteristics, its own track, and almost, in a sense, its own personality. And so we just want to compare it. We've had a lot of people that have just gone through a very bad event. Here is a look at the difference between the two storms. Now, Charlie, as you can see, has had winds of 145 miles an hour when he made landfall. Francis has weakened slightly to 140. The pressure has also come up a little bit in Francis, so that makes it just slightly weaker. But remember, it still has time to intensify over the next 24 hours. Now, the big difference is in this distance of hurricane winds from the center. Charlie had a very...
Some of the winds increasing along our East Coast.